Hello, welcome to Andre Darius, and today I'll be reviewing Seance. Seance is a 2021 horror mystery movie primarily starring Suki Waterhouse, Ina Sarkis, and Ella-Rae Smith. When the mysterious Camille Meadows arrives at the Edelvine Academy for Girls, it doesn't take long for her to be swept up by the popular crowd to take part in a ritual, calling upon the spirit of a former student who died under shady circumstances at the school. Soon after, the girls start to get killed off one by one, leading them to question if they actually disturbed the spirit or if there's simply a killer among them. Now, of course, as always, I have my script right here next to me, so we'll go through the problems, we'll go through the positives, and in the end, I'll give my final thoughts. Now, problem number one, the movie's too predictable and plainly executed. Now, if you've ever seen any teen horror movie ever, and I mean ever, it doesn't matter how independent or high up it might be, then you've seen many of the aspects in this film. Okay, this film does not take any risks. This film does not have some sort of interesting concept to set it apart from everything else. It is as regular of a teen movie as it gets. All right, it reminds me a lot of 2006's The Woods. It reminds me a lot of Sorority Row and The House on Sorority Row, two classic teen horror films, and frankly, two films that did it way better. But although there's nothing like offensively bad or like really bad about the film itself, it's just really average. It just kind of goes through the motions and every sort of beat that you expect it to, and doesn't do anything special to set it apart from anything else. Problem number two, none of the characters are written well enough. The most unfortunate of which is Camille Meadows, played by Suki Waterhouse. Now, yeah, just like I just said, none of the characters here are written well. And I mean, like, nobody at all. Which is especially unfortunate for Camille Meadows, played by Suki Waterhouse. Now, I don't know how good of an actress Suki Waterhouse is. I know she's a model from England or whatever, but I think the only other thing I've seen her in is some movie with Bella Thorne. I forgot which one it was, but she wasn't very memorable in it anyway. But whatever. In this movie, she didn't stand out enough as the main character because with her being the new girl, she's our eyes and ears into this new environment, and we're supposed to relate to her the most. We're supposed to experience everything with her and feel for her the most. But that is not the case. I don't really feel for any of the characters in these movies. Like the way how they set these girls up, it's literally told to us from start to finish, they are here to be killed, and that is it. Okay, they're not special in any sort of way. They don't have their separate interesting things that we can use to identify them differently. They're just kind of in the background to be killed. And that was a real problem for me because, of course, with this movie being about killing and stuff, it would really help if there were people that we cared about seeing die. And to be honest, the kills themselves weren't even that good. But that's besides the point. None of them were written well. That's problem number two. Now let's go into the positives. Positive number one, Ina Sarkis as Alice was the best character in the film. Hands down, literally the only good character in this film, in my opinion, was Ina Sarkis as Alice. Now, if you know Ina Sarkis, she played, I forgot her name. I forgot her character's name, but she played a character in After and After We Collided. Those two horrible teen drama movies. But as she did a good job in those films, she also did a good job in this film. She played basically the same character that she played in After. If you've seen After, then she basically played the same character here, and she did a really good job. It really stood out to me because don't get anything wrong. Of course, her character wasn't well written, just like everybody else, but her performance really shone through, really stood out from everyone else, really helped me get through this movie. Okay, like she was the only interesting character in the film in the slightest. The best thing about the film, in my opinion. And the second positive, the final fight scene was surprisingly really good. Now, light spoiler here, it's not a ghost, it's a killer, okay? It's a serial killer. Basically, it's a psychopath, all right? And Suki Waterhouse's character, Camille Meadows, fights with the killer in the end. And because like the rest of the film prior to this like wasn't anything special. They like there wasn't anything really creative about it. Seeing this fight scene really caught me off guard because of how just like well choreographed, well shot it was. Like the music, everything about it was perfect. Like every movement, like it was. I don't. It really surprised me. With the moves that they made in there, really really surprised me. Very very welcome surprise. It's too bad the rest of the film is just average. Is just flatlining until the end. And that's about it. Those are both of the problems and both of the positives, well, at least significant problems and positives that I have about Seance. So, time to go into final thoughts. Basically, Seance is a average teen horror mystery movie. Okay, the characters aren't that interesting apart from Ina Sarkis, but honestly, her character isn't really interesting. It's just enjoyable. It's enjoyable to see her be a bad person in film. But other than that, everyone else is just kind of boring. Everyone else is just kind of droning through it. It's not well written. The screenplay itself isn't bad, but it's not well written at all. Are these characters are just here to die? So I connected with absolutely no one. There and honestly, like there doesn't need to be a connection. It's not hard to make an enjoyable teen horror movie similar to this, but just the way how this one was done, like they couldn't even hit that bar. Okay, like let's be honest here. Teen horror movies, they're not usually good, but they're usually enjoyable to some extent. All right, there's a certain bar you could hit to where you make an enjoyable film, and this did not hit that bar for me. Okay, nothing was offensively bad. Nothing was like bad to the point of where okay, I'll just turn this off and watch something else. I sat through the film just fine. Okay, like and it had pretty much like the film's problem is just that it's cliche. It's cliche. It's average in every aspect except for the final fight and Ina Sarkis's character. Everything else, it has all the exposition. It has all of the characters walking off alone while there's a killer on the loose going on kind of stuff. It has all of that. It has all those cliches. It has all those formalities, everything you would expect of a teen horror movie, of your basic by the numbers horror movie. It is right here. And that brings the film really, really down for me. But I would not say it's a bad film. I don't think it's a bad film. I don't think it's a good film. I think it's just very, 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 very average, which is why I give Seance a 5 out of 10. Would not recommend it. I mean, like if all you're looking for is just like an average by the numbers horror movie with some attractive people, then by all means go ahead. Watch it if that's what you're into. But if you're looking for literally anything more, enjoyable characters, great kills, great moments and stuff like that, I would not recommend this one. I'd really much rather recommend Sorority Row. That is a very underrated movie. But anyway, that's about it. Thank you for watching. It's a 5 out of 10 from me, and I'll see you all next time. This has been Andre Darius. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button to know when I upload next. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.